Alright, I wanted to do a little video because I saw this comment, or it wasn't a comment, it was a message, an audio note that my friend Julian shared with me after having listened to my conversation with Sam on confessionalism, which I'll put in here. I mean, I'm assuming anybody who watches any of these is probably, like, this is much smaller than Sam's channel, is aware of that, but anyhow, I'll put a link, I think. And he said, and this is a good summary of where I'm at, I think, in relation to church or communion or community or whatever you want to call it. I'd call it communion, true communion, is he said that I am looking for a place where I can share my essence and be held. And what that made me think of is kind of the orthodox position of energy and essences. And I said, and I just sent a message to some friends this morning, and I said, I think that's it. If church or any community or communion or group of people is a place where the spirit of it is to try to put in conflict your essence and your energies, I want no part of it. And it's very related to, which is how a lot of interactions feel with me. A lot of interactions you have with people about ideas, about all sorts of stuff. It's trying to find, I don't know. I read somewhere this morning too. It's the, what's it called? The hermeneutic of suspicion versus beauty. You know, like, are you looking for the connections here? Are you looking for what brings these things together? Or are you looking for what tears them apart? You know, is it the spirit of the symbol or the spirit of Diablos, which is to divide? Are you trying to unite things, or are you trying to divide things? Both within the person or within the group or whatever, you know? Which reminds me of the Coleridge, you know, the privilege of the philosopher is to distinguish without division. So there's this line. I just got done reading The Once and Future King for my book club. I'm going to try to read this. How am I going to do this and hold my thing? So this is about Guinevere. There's this line about Guinevere that I loved, or this paragraph, and it says, one explanation of Guinevere, for what it's worth, is that she was what they used to call a, quote, real person. Real is in quotes, sorry. She was not the kind who can be fitted safely under some label or other as, quote, loyal, or, quote, disloyal, or, quote, self-effacing, or, quote, jealous. Sometimes she was loyal, and sometimes she was disloyal. She behaved like herself. And there must have been something in this self, some sincerity of heart, or she would not have held two people like Arthur and Lancelot. Like likes like. Or as I've said before, you know, like begets like, deep calls to deep, whatever. Like likes like, they say. And at least they are certain that her men were generous. She must have been generous too. It is difficult to write about a real person. And I think what they're saying is, like, it's difficult to capture someone's essence. I mean, you can't really. I mean, you could probably only do it with, like, poetic diction or with iconic language. Because if you try to do it with just labels, you're not, a label in and of itself, or the kind of mind that is looking for distinctions over unity or division, you're never gonna see the mosaic vision, the bigger picture, the unarticulable unity, or the higher thing behind all distinctions. You'll never see that, which is the essence. And if you're not submitted to the essence of a person or a spirit, or you know, if you're not submitted to the essences of things, you'll never be able to repent. You know, you'll be in the lopsided left brain that McGilchrist talks about, and you will constantly sacrifice the unity for an idol. I mean, that's essentially what you're going to do. You don't have the right brain, which being the master, which allows you to see an error and then repent, correct, turn back. Metanoia. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'm looking for a place to share my essence and be held, and I always have been, and it's because that's love, you know, that's the end.